So last class we have seen. Uh, so the groups we have seen.
Combined and
Yeah.
computer science.
So the next one is the filters. So in the filters, basically, we have different types of filters we have. So the first one, we know that the data source filters. Yeah. Whenever we apply the filter, this is the data source filter. And when you come here, while creating the extract, if you apply a filters there, that is the extract filters. And already I shown you the order of priority, the order of operations. I told the extract filter will take precedence, and then there comes the data source filter. And what are all the other filters we have other than this data source filter and extract filters? So just we can place all your dimension fields in the filter shells. Then that particular filter is applied to this particular sheet, only for this particular sheet. So either sheet level you can maintain different filters you can maintain it. And suppose I wanted the same filter should be applied for 2-3 sheets, then that also you can do it, right? Only suppose I have 10 sheets in my dashboard, only some 2-3 sheets one filter should be applied, some another 2-3 sheets another 2-3 filters another filter should be applied, and another 3-4 sheets another filter should be applied. Can we do that? So we can do that. Or individually each and every filters we can apply to the one sheet, or one filter all the sheets can I apply? Yes, that also I can apply. It is called global filters, right? One is your local filters, another one is a global filter, another is what you can select the objects and you can make that applied on this sheets, means mentioned sheets. So that we'll see a little later. So now I can drag a dimension field in your filter shells, that is filters by dimension. I can drag a measure field to the filter shells, that is by filters by measures. I can drag a date field to the filters, that is filters by date range. Okay, so I can do three different options. One is a dimension I can take. For example, this category. This is the dimension. I place it here. So for this category, I have three different numbers. So I select everything and click apply. So I have this category applied here. Suppose, so this category, suppose I show this category, and for this I am seeing this subcategory, and for this I wanted to see the sales. Suppose, no, I want to see only office and technology in this sheet. No problem. Go here, edit filter, office supplies. I can uncheck this and show here. And in the next sheet, I want to show category. So all the categories I wanted to see, right? So all this category I wanted to see, and the same subcategory and this is. So in this sheet, I see all the categories. In this sheet, I see only categories furniture and technology. So two different sheets I have same field in the filter shells, but here it is filtered and there it is not. I am selecting all the fields. So now I can give this control to the users. User can select the filter. I can give the filter control to the user. Right click, show filter. So I have this. So I can keep this in my dashboard. So the user, they don't want to see this office supplies, they can select this, uncheck. They see only furniture. So they select this. Or all, you can select this. Okay. So this is your show filter. Means you are giving the filters control to the user so that user can select anything, furniture or office supplies or technology they wanted. And when you go here, they see 7 different options available. So these 7 options are called as quick filters. So when you select single value list, so sometimes, so there is an option given to you, only one value you can select, not the multiple values. For example, year. So I select only 2017, or I select only 2016, or I select only 2015. Suppose I have 3-year data set. So I select only 2016, 15 and 17, any one. So either I select furniture, either I select office supplies, or I select technology, right? So this way I can able to do that. So now here let me do this multiple value list. So I select all, and so let me go here for the region. So let me give this region here. So give this as an all. So only one region I want to see at a time. So go here, provide this, and make this region into single value. So either I see central, or I see east, or I see south, or I see west. So this is the scenario. So this single value list, and this is a multi-value list. This applying these 7 options is called as quick filters. So now the single value list I don't want all. I don't want all because I wanted only one values. So why I need all? All means all the values I am seeing, right? It doesn't make sense. I don't want all for the single value. How to do? Remove this. So go here. There is a customize. So here show all value and check this. So it will go. So either you select central, or you select east, or you select south, or you select west. Anyone. No all. So region wise you can select any one. And category you can select only technology, or furniture and technology, or all. You can select. Okay. So this is the scenario. Now this is occupying my space little. So no worries. Go here, take this second value, single value drop down. It reduces. And here also take this multi values drop down. So it reduced. Now whether my selections also changing? No, same. I go here, select only central, select only east, select only south, select only west. So can I multi-select using control? No, it will not select it. So you see here, it will not select it. It will not give an option for controlling. That's all. Only one you will select. And here the checkbox will be there. So you can check this, you can check this, you can check this. You can see only to reduce the value, means reduce the size, position you can use. So single value list and single value drop down, multi value list and multi value drop down, and the single value slider. The slider you have values like east, south, central. Suppose 17 values, 20 values are there, don't use slider. At some 3, 4, 5, 6 values are there, then you can use. It makes sense. It will look good also. So you can use this. When it comes to the multiworks, you can see there is a custom list. So what happened is, suppose I go C. So in this C, office supplies is there, technology is there. See anywhere else in your name of your member. Anywhere, because it is a custom search. So now suppose you can see means you select this office supplies technology you wanted, or suppose somewhere T, so furniture and technology. So suppose I go for E, so enter. So all this I have, because furniture also I have E, office supplies also I have E, and technology also I have E. So here I go select whatever I wanted. So this is your custom list. Okay, multi-value custom list. So 6 types are over. So what is this last one? Wild card match. So it will not ask you anything. It will not ask you anything. Suppose C means it will show only office supplies and technology. It will not, at least there it will ask you. It will display you. These are all having C. You select which you want. It will ask. Here it is not the case. So if I say T, it shows furniture and technology. If I say E, it shows everything. Right? So this is what the meaning of this. So you know this 7 options. So these 7 options are called as your quick filters. Now next one. So I place category. So this subcategory here, and I place same category here, and I place sales here. So now I place this category here, all fine, okay, and I place subcategory here, right? All okay. So now this subcategory I show filter, and this category I show filter. Fine. If I uncheck this, so office supplies is unchecked, technology is unchecked, furniture is unchecked. But you see this, there is no change in subcategory. Because for furniture, the subcategories are there, furniture related subcategories. So only that should show. See, if I am selecting quarter 1, so my 12 months are there. It should show only January, February and March. If it's showing all the 12 months, it doesn't make sense, correct? Say if it is quarter 4, so October, November and December, that should be shown. So in this quarter 4, you can select all 3 or October or November or December or October, November or October, December or November, December. So like this you can say. But it should not show from January to December for quarter 4. It doesn't make sense. So how to do that? So here you see this, there is an option available, all values in the database. That you have to change it to all relevant values. Then you see here, earlier it was showing all the values for this particular field in the database it was showing. That's why it was not reflecting any changes related here. So now if I uncheck, everything is gone. If I check technology, technology related subcategories are shown. If I select office supplies and technology related subcategories are shown. If I select all the subcategories are shown. That is the scenario. Right? So that is the scenario. Right? So this is called as, then if you are applying all relevant values, then this filter is called as cascading filters. If you are using this 7 options, then that is called as quick filters. If you are using these 2 options, then it is relevant value, then it is called as cascading filters. So normally the cascading filters will be little performance, impact your performance. Why? Because normally when you are keeping multi-marks visualization, or if you are placing more fields in your filter shells and in your display, so what happens basically? You are dragging and drop. Your SQL server communicates, because you know this auto updates, it communicates to the SQL server each and every drag of your field. So then that SQL server again communicates back to data engine. That data engine will be having this data set in its buffer. So first it will check this user selected furniture, means category is placed. So in this category is selected furniture. So it immediately notifies. So for this furniture, so what are all the subcategories are there? It shows, it goes and checks and reflects back. If it is a cascading filter, if it is all values, it doesn't care, because one level it will reduce. It will just go and check for this category what is the sum of sales. Now here in the cascading filter, it will go check for this category and its a relevant subcategory and its sale only it will display here. Right? So it has to assign for this furniture in subcategory sale, and for this category what all the subcategories are there, that relevant sale should be displayed. So your IO contention little high and your performance little impact. So it is for only 2 pages. If I have multiple pages and there multiple filters are applied, so how many times it go back and checks your data engine and reflects those results in your chart. Right? So the IO contention is very high. Fine, that is different. How to resolve that? That we'll see later. So next one. So in the dimension filter, so when I show filter, when I have this 7 options, then that is called as quick filters. When I apply relevant values, then that is called as cascading filters. And there is one more option called included and excluded. By default it is included. Exclude means I told strike it. So everywhere you have, right? Suppose if I go here, edit filter, so there is a exclude, right? So that exclude is your striking option. So now suppose for example I select exclude, so then everything, if I am selecting furniture, so furniture is excluded. See, there is a strike. Whatever you select, that will be excluded. If I select office supply, that is excluded. It is a vice versa. Include means when you select, that will display. Exclude means what you select, that will exclude, it will strike. So if you want that, you can use this, or include values, you can use this. So include and exclude values. Okay, so this is all, we have it in the show filter. So when you select this 7, this is it is quick filter, this 2, it is a, means only relevant values, it is a cascading filter. And now the filter, this is by dimension, the filter by dates and filter by measures. So you have range of values, you have range of values. So when you are going for a date, first we'll see the measure. So now the sale I am bringing in here. You see here it shows the aggregation, sum of average of median, count, consisting, minimum, maximum. So I select sum. So it shows a range of values, at least, at most, and special. So the range of values means it shows same option in filter means what same option?
We go down the list and cascading and including, excluding. Will the dash
No, quick filter. No, they cannot change the quick
people
filter or the
quick
cascading filter.
filters?
That we have to do. Only thing, control we are giving to the user. That's all. The
Okay.
user can select whatever they want.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thanks.
Okay, I'll tell you. So here the maximum
Okay.
scale is 2.297.
Thanks.
So 2.297. So I didn't place any dimensions in the shells. For example, if I place category, or if I place customer, and I place this sales. So the customer minimum sale, maximum sale will be there, right? So when I bring this sale, it shows sum of sale. So the range of value, the minimum is 4833 and the maximum is 25043. So I want to see a range of values between 10,000 to 20,000. So apply. So now you see here, who are all the customers in the range of 10,000 to 20,000. So they will be displayed. So now you see here, so 10,311 to 19,052. Only the customers are shown. So this is what your range of values. At least. So at least 10,000. So which will be 10,000 and above. And at max what will happen? So suppose 10,000 means, so from 0 to 10,000. So 10,000 below, whatever is there. So that will be displayed. Right? So at least will be 10,000 and above, at most will be below 10,000, and special will be null values if it is there, only null values should be shown, or not null values are there, that should be shown, or all the values including null and not null, it would be shown. Right? Suppose in my sales speed there is some null values are there, some couple of rows there null values are there. So then that one only will show. So here I don't have. Not null values, everything will be shown. So all values and all not null values is one and the same if there is no null value. So clear? Range of values, you set your minimum, you set your maximum. That is what your range. When you go to the at least, means you set your minimum value and everything is above this minimum value. And at most means you set your maximum value, everything is below your maximum value. So now in this range for the customers, my minimum value of the customer is 4.833 and the maximum value of my customer is 25043.05. So that is the customer wise minimum sales and the maximum sales. By default it will show. Now I want to see the customers who is in between 10,000 and 20,000. So apply. So it will show the customers whose sale is above 10,000 and below 20,000. It will show. This is range of values. So at least means first minimum. So from 10,000 till the maximum. So it will show the 25,000. This is the maximum. At most, you set the maximum value. You set the maximum value. Suppose for example, I set 5,000, 5,001. So anything lesser than 5,001. So now it shows. So 5 to 4986. So the special will show if you want to display not null values, customers, null value customers, and all the values customers you want to display. So this is the filter by measures. The same when you go for the filter by dates. Filter by dates. Why I am saying dates? Here also the range of dates are there. So either you want to go with the year, quarter, months, days, week numbers, weekdays, anything you can do as such as your measures. And relative dates. This is again the range of dates, starting date, end date, and special means null date, not null date, and all dates. So when I go to the range of dates, I say the minimum date and maximum date of my data set. And the starting date, which date it starts, and after that whatever the data. And ending date, which date it ends, before that whatever the data. And the special, which is any null dates are there, non-null dates are there, all the dates are there. This 4 is similar to your measure. But what is this relative dates? Here, my data set is of 11, 12, 13, 14. I fix one anchor date. I fix one anchor date. So what is the date? Suppose I go check this. So today's date it will show. No, my data set is not having today. It is there till 11, 12, 13, 14. Only this. So let me take, so 0, 1. So I take, so let me go here and I change this to 14. So I take this 1/1/2014 as my anchor date. So select this. Fine. So what you wanted to check? So if you wanted years, quarters, months, weeks, days. So this is the scenario. Means I set an anchor date. So after this anchor date, there are 365 days are there because my data set is between 1/1/2011 to 31/12/2014. After this anchor dates, I have 1 year, complete year. And before this anchor date, I have 3 years completely. So my analysis should be accordingly. So years, so the previous year I wanted. So then you can see here. So now when I take this order date, it shows only 2030. So whatever the customer sale, which will be showing the previous year, 2013 sale, it will be shown. So now suppose for example I say previous 2 years. So previous last 2 years. It means what? 2013 and 2012. So it shows. What is it? Last 2 years. Okay, 2014 and 2013. So now last 3 years. So I say this. So then what happened? So 2000 last 3 years. 14, 13 and 12. 3 years it will be shown. So you see here, it's a kind of, so 14, 13 and 2. So Eric Bergman, so doesn't have sale in 2014, doesn't have sale in 2012. Only he is having sale in 564 in 2013. So Hawkins in all the 3 years. And Aaron Spelling only 13 and 14. This is again another analysis. Now I want to show this all the 4 years. So you can show this last 4 years. So I can see. So you can see here. So this guy in the 2011 I have, in 2013 I have, 12 and 14 nothing. So this is based on the year. Now I want to check in the quarters. So go here quarters. So what I wanted, last 4 quarters I wanted. This is my first quarter. And so you can see here it will show. So the display is here, right? So I change this to quarter. So this quarter. No, I change this to quarter. So now it is showing last 4 quarters. So Q4, Q3, Q2 and Q1. Of which year this is? So 2014, 13 and 13 Q3 and Q2. So including your current quarter. So then previous 3 quarters. Right? So that is shown. So Aaron Bergman, so in the year 2013 I have seen on which quarter? It is of 564. Now quarter 1 what about? No problem, don't worry. So go here and show this as last 5 quarters. So I can say this and see here. So even in the first quarter also it doesn't have value. So Aaron Bergman having sales in 2013, that too in quarter 4 only he has done that. Right? So this kind of analysis you can do here by doing a comparative analysis. So year to year, Q on Q, month on month. So you can do. So now this month I wanted. So go here, edit filter and months. So the last 12 months or last 13 months. So I want to see the analysis. So then what I do? So I will be taking this out, taking this out. No. So I go here, take this as month of. So this one I take this as a light chart. So it will display like this. So the customer wise, so that's why I don't want line chart. Customer wise, so I don't want line chart. So if it is a plain blank, I can use a line chart. So now you see here this customer. So the 2013 January. So that also we see quarter 4. Which month? It is November. He didn't split it into October, November and December. Only November. Okay, this is how we can narrow down comparative analysis using your filters by date. So in this date in additional, the range of date, at least, at max, at most and special, we have a relative date. In the relative dates, the anchor which plays vital role. When you wanted to go back, this is not only go back, after also we can do. So now the scenario is, if you go here and edit, last, next you can see, next 3 months. So you can see January, February and March. This is of the year 2014. Right? So next 3 months, you can see this. What is the sale? So this guy is having 80 and 13. So this guy is having 3060. So this way it goes. Right? So this is a scenario. So now, suppose for example, I want to go the subtotal. So go here and sub this total. So I can bring this row level or column level subtotal. I can give it here. So you can see here. So row level subtotal. So it shows 740. And see here in this 44, 20 and 53. So this is a kind of cross tab you can display. Right, the customer wise 3 months sales I wanted to see. No, next 6 months you want to display. Go here and edit filter. So next 6 months. So I can display. So it will be like this. Right? So this is a cross tab. So you can have this 44, 20, 53, 40, 45 and 48. And this is my total. So this is the customer wise, month wise total. Okay. So these kinds of reports analysis we can develop. So relative dates by filter. Okay. So next one, the last one, which is, so we have seen what? So this dimension by filters and filters by measures and filters by dates we have seen. Right? And the next one is your context filters. So as I told you, so this will impact my performance as I told you. And when you see here, there are two options are there. All values in database, one relevant values. This impacts my performance. Why? Because if I select furniture, it goes and informs data engine, customer selected, the user selected furniture, that is having is opted relevant values. So for that category furniture, what all the subcategories are there? So that some sales, some profit, whatever it may be, that it will calculate and give it back. So in order to avoid that, so normally in SQL, what we'll do? So a table is there, the particular field, columns. So there is more retrievals are there. So what you will do? You will be creating an index for the field. So normally when you do a select query, so it does, if there is no index, it will go for a table scan. So the table is a small, then fine. If it is a millions and millions of records, then it will take some time. It goes and searches for all the table for that particular field and displays the result. If you create an index, what will happen? Only that particular field, what all the distinct values are there, it goes and picks and it uses the index. So it will be very faster. Similarly here, we have a context filter that plays a role like an index. Internally what it does, it creates a temporary table for it. Suppose I make category as a context filter, then it creates a temporary table for category and keeps the distinct values of the category there. So this category in thousands of rows or millions of rows, I don't care. What is the distinct value of the category? Furniture, office supplies and technology. I will keep it in there. Suppose any other fields I add to the context filter, those distinct values also will be there in my temporary table. So my search will not be extensive throughout my table. It will be only based on the relevant values. So suppose for example, I have category and subcategory here. So this category I place it down. This is for some reason. And the color of the pill, what is it? It is blue. So I want to make this category as a context filter. Right? And you see here, before I make this, I see only all values in database, only relevant values. Only two are there. So now, how to make these context filters? No worries. Click on this, add to context. So when I add to context, you see the difference for the category. It becomes ash color. The blue color is changed to ash color, and have you seen one difference? Earlier it was below subcategory, now it is above subcategory. Why? Because in the filter shelves, the context filter will take the precedence if it is there. And the color of the filter, if you see this, it is a ash in color, you can understand that is a context filter, right? And when you come here also, you see here, there is an additional value added. Earlier we were having only relevant values and all values in the database. Now it is all values in context. So if you select this, what will happen? So all relevant values, it goes and checks in the data engine. When you add values in the context, the subcategories distinct value will be added into the temporary table, so that my search will be very faster. It will go refer only your temporary table. It will not go refer back your data engine. One time refresh, if it is there in the buffer, it's fine. Every time it will not go refer back your data engine. So when you have multiple filters in your workbook and you have more sheets in your workbook, please ensure one or two context filters you add in order to improvise your performance. Okay, this is the use of your context filters. And the last one, which is, as I told you, we can have a global filters. Whatever the filters we are using, this is a local filter. The same category is here. I use only bookcases and furniture and technology, right? Furniture and technology. But the same here, I use differently. All I am using. The same category, I use all. For example, let me have the multiple list. I use all. So, but whatever I select here, here also it should reflect. How to do that? So for this, what you do? So this is my first filter. Go here and click on this. Apply to worksheets. We have an option, right? So go here. Select. This is saying that only this worksheet. Obviously, because this is a local filter. Only this worksheet. Now go to the selected worksheets. Here, which sheet you selected, that is default grayed out. Means it is a sheet 1. It is default grayed out. Now, which are all the other sheets you wanted to add for this filter? The list will be there. So you select this sheet 2. This I wanted to keep this. Select OK. So now you see this, there is an icon like this cascading kind of icon is there. On seeing this, you can understand, okay, this filter is been shared with, this filter has been shared along with the sheet. Some other sheet also it has been shared. So when you go here, here also you can see this. Now you see here, this office supplies becomes furniture. Now when I click here, here also it would be office supplies. When I uncheck technology, here also it is technology. So when I keep only furniture, here also it is furniture, right? Whatever the changes I do in that sheet, it reflects in the other sheet. Okay, so how to find out which are all the sheets? When you see here, when you get a maintenance dashboard, on seeing this, oh, this is a filter. It has been shared with, along with this sheet, other sheet also. What are all the sheets? You can go here, apply to worksheet, select worksheet, you can see this. Oh, sheet 1 and 2 is shared. Fine. You can understand. So you can ask, you can have n number of sheets also. Now here also I have, right? So go here, take this and apply to worksheets, selected worksheets, you can add sheet 3. Then automatically the sheet 3 also will be having furniture. Now you see it is showing all values. So when I come here, so this is fine. So like this you can do it. So this is the next door. So far data source filter, we know what it is. Extract filter, we know what it is. When we create an extract, that time when you apply extract, then that is called as extract filters. So then you know when I am placing a filter in my worksheet, it is a local filter. When show filter, you are giving the control to the user. In that, the 7 options if you provide, that is called as quick filters. When I make it all relevant values, then that is called as cascading filters. And also only dimension I wanted to say, no, you can keep your measures also. If you keep your measure, the range of values, at least, at most, and special values is there. And similarly, you can keep a dates also. So at least means range of dates, at least, at max, and special dates. And in addition, we have a relative dates also. So with this related, you can do such kind of analysis. The anchor date is the most important thing. You can give anything, but within the data set you give. That's the thing. Suppose you are working with the data set, if suppose it is a live data, then still yesterday data it is there in your data set, fine. You can use any dates. Suppose I am working with the back data, suppose 2011 to 16. So then anchor will always refer initially to the system date. You have to change. If you forget that, your analysis will be wrong. So that you have to set it. If it is a live data, then fine. Okay, so that you have to take care. The next is the filter which has been shared with the other sheets. Okay, then on this and the context filter. So this is your context filter. So which will show your color in blue. Right. So that is the thing. And next one. So now one filter is there that needs to be there applied to all the sheets. All the sheets means all the sheets. So how to do that? For example, I go with, so the state. So no. I go with this country. Let me take this sheet. So I go with this country. So this country only United States or USA. United States I go. So if it is USA, what it would be? That's right. Yeah, United States, not the USA. So I should go with this United States, not the USA. So I go here, all using this data source, all using this data. Earlier I select this selective sheet, all using this data source. Then what will happen? There is a cylinder. Okay. So when you use this is a global filter. Which are all the sheets using this data source will have this filter. So now you can go here, you see here. When you go here, it's here. When you go here, it's here. When you go here, it's here. When I create a new, earlier it is not there. So suppose when I go click this on the category, immediately that filter will be there. So when I place this category, immediately that filter will be there. You see, automatically. So this is called as global filters for this data source. So only this much filters you have. Okay. So you can play around with this filter based on your requirement. Okay. So the next one. So this is all we have for the filters. And the next one is your bin. So we'll stop with bin today. and the calculated field and the parameters I will take it from the next class. So bin. So Tableau binned fields. If you see somewhere else, Tableau bins or Tableau binned fields is one and the same. And you know that. So in the data source page itself I told you, only for the number the bin will be available. Either it is a number whole or it is a number decimal. Either string, date or boolean, the bin will not be there. So when I go, this is a string. When I go to this create, so you see there is no bin. But when I go to this order ID, this is again a string. So there is no bin. But the row ID, this is a number whole. When I go here, there is a bin. When I come to the measures, all the bins, all the measures, the bin will be there. Bin will be there. So what is the use of bin? So whatever the bin which you create from this option, this is called as static bin. You can provide the intervals. That interval is a regular interval, fixed regular interval, fixed interval. So it is very precise if you use a fixed value, fixed term, fixed interval. It means when you keep 10, then it is 0 to 10, 0 to 9, 10 to 19, 20 to 29, and 30 to 39, 40 to 49, 50 to 59. Like this it goes. Suppose you can use the marks, you can use the age, so anything. Suppose for example, I wanted to see my employees list who are all having between the age of 20 to 30 and 30 to 40 and 40 and above. I want to see this. So for this, I have this age field there. So for the age field, I wanted to create a bin. So the age field is a number decimal. So I come here. So number decimal is there. So now you see here, I take this employee. Fine. I put this age into the text. So I see this. Ashok Kumar 24, Bhaskar Raj 26, Chandrasekhar 30. So like this it is there. So I want to put a range. So go here, right click, create and bin. So it will ask me. So and this age bin is there. So this I put a age range. Age range. And it says the minimum of my age, 23. And what is the maximum of the age, 41. So what is the difference between this two, minimum and maximum? It is 80. And what is the count listing? 11 rows are there. So these are all not editable. Read only. So it is providing you the information. And based on this, it provides you a bin size. It suggests you can go for 2.73. No, I don't want to go with that. So let me go with the 10. So then what will happen? So the age range is created here in the dimension. Always your bin creates will be there in my dimension. And the icon will be the histogram icon. Right? So when I bring this age range, it says 20, 30, 40. It means this is 20 to 29, 30 to 39 and 40 to 49. So now in this range, who are all the employees are there? If I bring this, it says 20 to 29, Ashok Kumar is there, Bhaskar is there, Diksha Raj is there, Deepak Gupta is there. And 30 to 39, Chandrasekhar. What is the value? Let me see this. Put it in the text. I see. So you see 20 to 29, 24, 26, 23, 27. And 30, 31, 32, 39, 35, 34. And 40. So this is always a fixed interval. This is always a fixed interval. If you put 10, 10. If you put 5, 5. Suppose I want to, so this is called a static bin. So as I say, static bin, what is there? Is there any dynamic bin is there? No. But you can create a dynamic bin. How? Using your calculated field. So this is all we have for the bin. So the bin can be created for your number, either your whole or your decimal. And bin, it will suggest for which field you are taking, the minimum, maximum, count distinct and what is the difference. And you can determine the interval. That interval is fixed. If you take 10, it is 10. Suppose I am going for an order. So 10,000 to 11,000 my order numbers are there. So total 11,000 orders are there. So I want to range 100. So 10,000 to 10,099 and 10,100 to 10,199 10,200 to 10,299, 10,300 to 10,399. So in that range it will go. So what is the value between these, right? So like this you can do an analysis for this. So now for example the marks. So now the same, I go for another example called marks. So let me take this for marks. So I have this sheet. So here you see this, there is a student, subject and marks. So now, so this student and what is his marks? So it is, his marks are, his marks are, so 420, 485 and 470. Suppose if I put a subject, so is different marks are there. So now I want to see the range. So 0 to 10, 0 to 9, 10 to 19, 20 to 29, 30 to 39 like this. So if I put a range for the static build, so I go here, create the builds, marks, range. So I give this minimum is 43 and maximum is 49. So I say 10. I say 10. So this is there. So now let me put this marks range here. So it says 40 and 50. Oh sorry. So this one I don't want here. So here I go to this marks and I put this subject, right? And I put this marks here. So here it says there are two ranges we have. One is 40, one is 90. In 40 I have only subject mathematics, and 90 I have all the 5 subjects. It means, so less than means 40 to 49. So only in mathematics. Rest all are above 90 only. So in that conclusion I can tell. So who took 40? So only two ranges I have, 40 to 49 and 90 to 99. That's all. Between that nothing is there. Okay. So 40 to 49. So who are all there? So now you can bring the student. So they say Ajit and Chandru. What is their marks? You can see here. One is 44, the another one is 43. Now I want to distinguish this. This range, the interval is 10. Now I wanted to define 0 to 44, it is free. 45 to 59, it is second class. And 60 to 79, it is first class. And 80 and above, it is distinction. I want to vary that way. So my intervals are totally different. 0 to 44, 45 to 59, and 60 to 79, and 80 to 100. So my intervals are different. So how to make that? Because it is not allowing me. So that I cannot do it using this existing bit. So for that I have to create a calculated field. So what is calculated field? So calculated field, you want to apply some formulas and create some calculations for it. So not only for this, anything. You can have your conditional statements. You can have functions over there, right? So for example, suppose sum of, that is a calculated field. I have a sales measure and aggregation sum I have it. So it is a sum sales, right? So now for example, for this calculated field, where is it? How to create? So in this drop down, if you go, there is a calculated field. Click on this. This is called as calculation editor. You can name your calculated field and you can apply whatever the formula you have. It is directly linked with your interpreter. It checks. the compiler which checks whether are you using the right function, it's an aggregate, non-aggregate mix, all those it will check. For example, I make marks. So this is calculation is valid. What marks? I wanted sum of marks. Sum of marks. So again the calculation is valid. Suppose I say marks 1. So it immediately says the calculation contained error. Even you didn't name it, you didn't save it. At instant, it immediately refers, the compiler verifies and tell you. What it tells? A reference to undefined value. This field is not there at all. So now for example, fine. So the marks. And I put SUMM. So it says calculation contained error. What it says? Unknown function. Right? So it is unknown. So everywhere it will check. Now if it is correct, it says calculation is valid. And there is a right arrow. If you click this, here you have function libraries. So in Tableau we have 32 functions we have. The functions are classified into two types. So internally it has lot of classification like what is number, string, date, type conversion, logical, aggregate, user, table. Lot of functions are there. But in a high level generic, there are two functions, types of functions we have. One is directional, another one is non-directional. So directional and non-directional. So directional means it is static. Some sales, that's all. Average sales, count distinct of, right? And I go for, suppose some other fields like ZN, lookup. Lookup also it is a directional. So why that is directional? It will not only refer the current row, it will refer forward and backward also. Suppose I go for a moving average. So moving average, how it will do? From my current row, 2 rows before. So these 3 values you take divided by 3. So my moving average for 3 months, I will take my current row and previous 2 rows, excluding this. So total 3 values you take and take a moving average. So I am in the current row. Please look me 2 rows before. What is the value? So these are all directional. So when you go for a lookup, so it says, you see, lookup, it says there is an offset. So along with the expression, the offset will be your first or last. So then this is a directional. So now suppose for example I go for window. So you see the windows function everywhere, it is a start and end is there. So your current expression and previous or later. So these are all called as directional. So it current row and before or later, after. So whichever you wanted. So for that to calculate. That is directional and which is only with your aggregations, expressions. For example, I wanted Zn. So Zn is a function where there is a null value, it will display 0. So Zn of profit. My profit is a measure. If I apply Zn along with that, what it says, if the profit value is having null, then it displays 0. Why I want to display 0? Suppose I am using there in the numerator or denominator. So 0 by means it is 0. If it is a null by, so it will not display, right? And similarly, divided by 0. And if it is a null, then there is a problem. So when my field which is being used in the numerator or the denominator, please go with the Zn. So these are all we will see in the table calculations, right? So the function in detail we'll see later. So now you can refer, why I say this, you can refer those functions here, right? So now this is a calculated field and in this calculated field you are going to write. So I say dynamic marks range. So what is this? If marks lesser than 45. So then else if marks lesser than 60, then second class. Else if marks so lesser than 17 80 80, so then first class. Else if marks, so no, after that nothing is there, else distinction and end. So your calculation is valid. So this is your dynamic, so calculating the field. So now the same thing, if I bring this marks dynamics, so one is fail, the rest all are distinction. Why distinction is greater than 80, everything is 90 and above, so only your fail. Yes. So now the failed you wanted to see the count of, so then I wanted to see this, so this student, so I say fail is Ajit and Chandru and the distinction is Ajit and Chandru. So now when I go with the subjects, so now this is mathematics and mathematics, right? So the same marks range, this and this is your static bin, and this is termed as dynamic bins. Dynamic bins, we don't have as such, we have to create a calculated field for this. Okay, so I'll stop here. So we will see tomorrow the parameters. We'll start parameters and we'll see tomorrow parameters. So I'll forward you now along with the recordings, the materials also. Please go through that.